Welcome to Authentic Hustle number 26, everybody. My gosh, 26 episodes, guys. That's 26 weeks in a row. We have been showing up week over week live on LinkedIn. So if you're catching us for the very first time, thank you, thank you, thank you. If this is your 26th time, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And very much looking forward to what comes next here, guys. We are going to be tackling a slightly different format today than you guys may be used to. We actually recognized pretty early on that you guys really loved our coverage of current events. We did a couple current event coverages for the election, the Canadian election. By far, 1,000 times, guys. By 1,000 times, it was like our most watched episode. And so we're going to actually try something maybe a little bit different for a while. Stick with us, comment, let us know what you think. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be tackling both a little bit of current event things, and we're going to try to tie them to business topics that hopefully help you. Once again, we are no more experts than you guys are. At the end of the day, we're going to be grabbing our news coverage from current events from the news, from what we can find online. So we are not coming on here claiming to be experts. We're going to be learning live with you, and I hope that you enjoy the process. And please, please, please drop in the comments what you think about this. Would love your opinions, would love to hear what you think about going on, but I think you're really going to enjoy today's show. Colin is coming to us from the Channel 5 traffic chopper, also known as his truck. So please bear with us today. He is on a much needed family vacation, but has still chosen to do Authentic Hustle with us. So we thank him greatly for taking this on. VJ, please, what the heck is going on in the world?
Hey everyone. Yeah, like Kelly said, we are no experts at all. But today, I think we saw the world events that's unwrapping. We saw there was an earthquake at the coast of Russia and then the Pacific, and the order of magnitude 8.7. Let me show what's happening. As you guys have picked the news, so there's an earthquake off the coast. So this is the history of different earthquakes of magnitude. So today's one, the recent one, is of order of magnitude either 8.7, 8.8, probably.
That's really big. Like I don't know a ton about earthquakes, but I know that's big.
It's super big. It's one of the top 10 earthquakes magnitude. Like the number 7 was like, it says like in 100 years, more than 100 years ago, 1906 was this kind of magnitude earthquake that happened. So what's actually happening is like this is what they're trying to like predict.
Trying to model,
to model the tsunami. And so this is where the earthquake happened and how it can affect the Pacific. There could be some warnings still, and some warnings are like lifted off. We don't know what will happen, guys. We are no experts by any means, but at the same time, we're trying to see what's going on in the world right now. So that's the current event. I just wanted to bring back a story back from 2004, where I lived through a tsunami. So it was the next day of Christmas. It was 26th December, 2004.
Oh, wow.
And suddenly, like, we didn't even know the word tsunami, to be very honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing that we saw on the news and everywhere was, okay, there's floods everywhere, there's water everywhere, and it was all around the coast and everything. And in the 10 days or no time, there was 1 million people who were like casualties, right? So that's what happened.
Wow.
And we were told like not to go to the beaches. Don't go to the beaches. The tsunami can come back anytime. The floods can come back at any time. It didn't come, but we were told not to go. But what we did in 24 hours, like we went to the beach. I mean, that's my friend and I, like, we wanted to see what's really happening because we were like 40 minutes away from the beach.
Yeah.
And we were curious. And I was 25 years younger. And like, so we wanted to see what really happened. And we went to the beach. It was not good. It was not a good scene. Not a lot of like casualties on the beach, around the beach, animals and so many other things. That's what happened. But tsunami is crazy, guys. It can happen. It can happen in no time. Now we have a lot of like tsunami warnings and whatnot. I think industry has matured. Overall, the seismic industry has matured. So that's what happened.
I find myself like just curious, right? Like I'm a Canadian living in the wild west. I live in central Alberta, Canada, which like the closest coast is like 1,500 kilometers at least, right? So like for me, the idea of a tsunami is like, well, it's hard to understand because I just don't live by the water, right? So for me, like the curiosity becomes like, how dangerous is a tsunami? So I literally just like punched this in to try to learn a little bit more. ChatGPT gave me an answer here. So tsunamis are extremely dangerous natural disasters. Their danger comes from a combination of factors. Number one, massive energy and speed. Tsunamis can travel at speeds up to, wow, get this, guys, 800 kilometers an hour. 500 miles an hour. This thing's going as fast as a jumbo jet in deep water. And they maintain that energy as they approach land. Wow, that is incredible. Sudden impact. They often strike with little warning, giving coastal populations minimum time to evacuate. Number three, enormous water volume. Unlike regular waves, tsunamis involve an entire wall of water that floods inland, sometimes traveling kilometers beyond the shoreline. Destruction and force. They can destroy buildings, bridges, roads, and everything in their path with incredible force. They have multiple waves. Okay, so this is what you were talking about, VJ. The first wave is often not the largest. Its subsequent waves, spaced minutes apart, can be even more devastating. And last but not least, secondary hazards. Tsunamis often cause fires, contamination, landslides, and long-term displacement of populations. Oh, goodness. What year was that you said that there was a tsunami for you?
2004.
VJ? Yeah, the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami and the 2011 Japan tsunami are stark examples, each resulting in tens of thousands of deaths and catastrophic damage. Holy cow, dude, did you know that, VJ? Tens of thousands of deaths?
Yeah, it was. I don't know the number, but it was a large number.
Wow.
What was observed, because I was not living by the shore, but I was living like 45 minutes from the shore on the day that happened, and there was a church like 4 or 5 hours away, also on the coast. So there were so many visitors who had actually visited for Christmas, right? So it was the 21st, and it was this tsunami hit on 26th early morning. So it's the next day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Around 4, 5 a.m. in the morning, and no one had any clue what was happening.
Oh, wow.
And the things that were observed from that time was like the water starts receding, guys. I mean, like just before the tsunami hits, the water starts receding massive amounts. Suddenly you see dry land near the shore because there's a ton of water receding to like come back at you. And the things that were reported and observed was like the waves, the height of the waves can go as high as a palm tree. Like, I don't know how tall the palm trees are, but like they can go really, really tall. And comes with massive speed, and it causes a lot of destruction. Doesn't matter what kind of building you have, it does cause a lot of destruction. It can come in at least like 1 to 2 kilometers into the city. It's frightening. So I know Japan tackles it like anything, but it's really frightening when it approaches land, actually.
Well, it's crazy because in Japan, right, like we talk about the Fukushima, disaster, right? But like people forget that it was a tsunami that caused that disaster, right? Like obviously the long-term repercussions of that nuclear power plant have been long-term and across the entire Pacific Ocean. However, it was a tsunami that ultimately caused that massive disaster in the first place. So yeah, it's crazy. Like you just don't hear about it. Like as Canadians, we just don't think about it. Although I immediately started thinking about, was Vancouver in danger? Good news for my fellow Canadians. It does look like the advisory has been canceled for Vancouver roughly 16 hours ago, from what I can see here. So hopefully Canada is safe from this. But for the rest of the world, I sure wish them the best. I imagine right now too, we have no idea what could happen.
Yeah, I think the ripple effect that we don't see and we won't see until it actually happens. That's the scary part is you don't even know. And it's the warnings, it's the fear of what could happen. And like VJ said is, it's 4 or 5 a.m. or it's whatever time in what time zone that these different things are happening across the world, that, it's the fear of the unknown and the destruction that it leaves behind is even more scary. Like VJ. So after that happened, and the cleanup and, the remediation of it all, how long does that take? Like, like where you were, like, I know you say you weren't close, but 40 minutes is close enough for me. You're still within a quick drive or bus ride to where it's happening. right?
That's right. I mean, like when it happened, the entire country kind of came together. I was living in India at the time, and it was the Indian Ocean that got affected. It's called the Bay of Bengal that got affected. So it was originally the tsunami, the earthquake from Indonesia that triggered this tsunami. And I saw the entire nation coming together at the time. The military was deployed, and there was a lot of like rescue crews around the bay for almost months together, right? So they were rebuilding for at least a year or two because the kind of destruction, the houses, and so many people lost their homes and a ton of like buildings. And so at least it took at least like 6 months to get to normalcy, but to actually to rebuild and everything, it took more than a couple of years to actually get it all back. So it was really not it was really bad, not good at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
It does look, guys. Sorry, Colin. It does look that that the tsunami has been downgraded from a warning to an advisory in Hawaii after it looks like waves hit after 7 p.m. local time, their time, and they have reduced it. So it does not appear that there were any reports of serious damage. So that's good for Hawaii.
Good.
Well, so as we think about this, I don't know if we can talk about it for a minute. Let's flip that into how does that reflect business? Right? Whether it's BD or ongoing business or how times are changing. And it just came to me, thinking things like tariffs, right? The unknown as fast as like when you were talking that water wall coming, as fast as a jumbo jet, an election happens and literally within days, the platform has switched and that wall of water is coming and the fallout's going to be enormous. And it is, right? Or, whether it's a cash flow crisis or a revenue drop or a change in technology, like VJ with AI, for example, you would see it more than myself or Kelly. That technology is changing as fast as you can implement it, it looks like. Really not to downplay the effects of the actual tsunami itself, but that really hits business. Like when you said it was 4 or 5 a.m., everybody was sleeping, nobody was ready for it. That happens a lot in business, right? Like we think we have our thumb on the competition or on the market or on interest rates, on all those factors that affect our business on a day-to-day basis. Maybe we need to look at that, right? Like the financial tsunami, or you caught with your shorts down and they get wiped away in the ocean type thing.
Yeah.
What do you guys
nailed
think?
it, right? Like, how do you weather the tsunamis of business? Because that's a real deal challenge. And like you said, most of the challenges, we're constantly being battered by waves in business, right? Like the reality is, like you said, things are changing all the time. It's evolving all the time. And most of the time, it's very hard to see what's coming. I actually think, and VJ, hear me out on this a little bit. You're more in the tech space than I am, but I think we're right in the middle right now of like a tsunami wall coming at us 800 kilometers an hour with regards to AI, and companies not even knowing what that means, because just like in the ocean, you can't see it coming because it's underneath the water, right? But I think like, I forget the statistic exactly, but I think I saw a thing that said by 2028, AI is going to be 1,000 times more powerful than it was in 2023.
Wow.
Frankly, we're in 2025 right now, and AI is already incredibly powerful. I can't imagine what 1,000 times more powerful AI even looks like, but I imagine it's going to be just like getting hit by a tsunami wave.
Yeah. No, I mean, the tsunami, AI is, there are two ways that people look at it. One, it is a threat, and the other one is empowerment, right? People look at it as a super empowering tool. And there are also threat to jobs. There are a lot of layoffs that's happening recently in Silicon Valley or otherwise worldwide, actually. So there's a ton of layoffs happening around the world. And people say, oh, AI has replaced this job. No, AI is already here, and the replacement has already begun.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do about it? How, if your business model was not, it's all about like retaining people and having them do the work. And if you're not thinking futuristic robotics, that kind of way to bring back efficiency and productivity into your work, that's one way you will lose. But guys, I mean, when it comes to the topic of like tsunami in business and how it can hit you like a wave, some things that comes to mind is like in terms of like financial security, financial stability. Right. I spent like 3 to 4 years studying money for a long time and really understanding what it is. I wouldn't say I'm financially super stable or anything. At the same, I'm really, because there are so many issues that I'm trying, but something I really understood to the core was like people not understanding money as much, because like, why are we doing the business in first place? We are doing business to make money, right? So, I mean, of course we are serving a greater purpose. All that is good, but at the same time, we are here to make a profit. It's not a non-profit. It is a for-profit business, right?
That's right.
So,
Yep.
and if you're, and if you, what you're spending, let's say you make $1 million, what you used to spend for $100,000, if you're spending 500,000 for the exact same thing, that's no good for any business or any family either. So I would highly encourage, go check out like Bitcoin. The moment I say Bitcoin, like people flip, please don't flip, right? Because I would encourage anyone to go check out Bitcoin, because let me back something even before I say the word Bitcoin. Right, the greatest tool that was used for money laundering is the US dollar, the number one. Right, it has been there for a long time. Bitcoin is number 8, just so you know. Right, so
Wow.
it's because the way it is portrayed in movies and in the mainstream and everything.
Yep.
The number one tool is not Bitcoin. It's actually US dollars, because that's the global reserve currency and whatnot. So Bitcoin is just a tool, guys. I mean, bad people are everywhere, and like so that's not the problem, because what used to be like $10,000 just a year ago, now it's like $120,000 for a single Bitcoin. So I would highly encourage you checking out Bitcoin. The experts in the industry said several years ago, have at least 1% of your net worth in Bitcoin. Do you know what they're saying latest from the last week? They said, consider having at least 15% of your net worth in Bitcoin. That you
15.
see the difference, like from 1% to 15%.
Wow.
I mean, I would even go higher, but like, I mean, this is not a financial advice by any means, and I'm not an expert, but I just wanted to share that.
Man, you know, in the 2020 stock market mess, I lost $60,000, guys. $60,000.
Wow.
It was brutal. Probably changed like the whole trajectory of my life. And so I have a very different opinion on investing now.
Which year again? 2016?
No, 2020.
2020. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I look at it now, and I'm such an advocate of invest in things you can touch. I truly believe that. As much as like I know you like love Bitcoin and you like push that, I can't hold a Bitcoin in my hand. And I'm a huge advocate now for people doing investing. Once again, not a financial advisor. Don't listen to me. But this is what I do. And I very much look at it now as I genuinely believe that more people should invest in things that they can actually physically touch. I really believe that. It's very hard to lose. It's easy to lose something you can't touch. It's easy to lose digital currency, which is really what stocks are, which is really what like Bitcoin is. So it's like we have a slightly different opinion. My sister agrees with you completely, by the way, Vijay. I just struggle with it because I lost so much money in things I couldn't touch, that for me now, I'm just such a strong believer of we should really be investing in things we can touch. And I know, Colin, you agree with that as well, being in real estate.
Yeah. The tangible assets are, you know, regardless of what happens. I guess the one thing is like, let's just use a tsunami comes along, right? And let's say it's real estate and it's a real holding, and say that whole beach is full of hotels and assets, and that tsunami comes and wipes it all away, which no different than the fire that happened in Maui, right? Those tangible assets are worth zero after that, right? Obviously insurance, that type of thing. But let's just say we were investing in that, that shareholder value can plummet to nothing, right? And it's kind of a timely topic with that. You know, I've seen a few more Canadian Tire, just on the Canadian side, for the Canadian people, is doing mass corporate layoffs as of yesterday, right? And I was reading into it, and I'm like, oh, why are their revenue is soaring, but they said they're right sizing on the corporate end. Well, Vijay and Kelly, we all know how much we love the corporate end of that, right? That's for shareholder value. That's right. Like when you look at revenue is soaring up. Operational costs, right? And so they're going to right size. Like usually you would think you right size when there's something wrong, right? So so let's think about, let's play it back a couple of weeks for Canadian Tire employees. Did they even see this coming, right?
Yeah.
Or, was it word on the street or flavor
I'm
of
just
the
gonna
day?
call in. Sorry. Just for the people who maybe haven't read this, I'm on economic. Oh, hold on here. I just want to make sure that I have a Canadian reference here. Let's see what I can find. City News Toronto. Here we go. Canadian Tire has laid off an unknown percentage of its corporate workforce. The company has confirmed in a statement to City News. The company said that it has eliminated some corporate roles and expanded others as part of their transformation to better compete in a new era of retail. No store roles are affected by the layoffs. Interesting. While these changes are difficult, they are necessary to ensure that we are remaining strong retailer, job creator, and contributor, or we are a strong retailer, job creator, and contributor to the Canadian economy well into the future. It is interesting from the standpoint that not a single store level. They're basically just cutting all of their high cost jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Right.
I mean,
and that's
reminds me of the corners. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh no,
Go
go ahead, VJ. Yeah, and that's the premise of the whole thing is cutting back, right, on the corporate end, because that's the high dollar people and not the frontline people, which is a little bit different. But if you look at the performance of the company, right, let's just say, Kelly, your RSPs were directed to Ferzani Group or whoever owns Sport Check and Canadian Tire and all that now, right? And then
Sure.
they tweak it, and it's going to go up or it's going to go down. And they make that headline announcement in hopes that it goes up, right? But just one of those things. The biggest thing for me when I'm thinking about the tsunami, thinking about a financial tsunami, thinking about people that woke up a few weeks ago, didn't see this coming, perhaps, right? Now they're forced out, and like the tsunami, right? They're forced out of that beacher. They're forced out of that, and they're hit overnight. Yeah, there's severance and there's all those things, but it's like VJ said, he was 40 minutes in. Not all these people are 40 minutes in, right? They're not protected. They're right in the line of the wave.
They're right on the beach.
Yeah, right on the beach. So anyway, that was my thought.
I think let's look at this a little bit like, I don't want to say like philosophical.
Philosophical.
Let's take a look at this philosophically. What word am I looking for here? Let's look at this like a little bit philosophically, right? And it's the reality that we never know what's coming in our lives, in business, you name it. Like, we can make all the plans in the world. And I know, me and Colin have talked about this many times. I can sit down and I can make a 2-year plan, a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan. The reality is, guys, I have no idea what's happening in the next 6 months. I just don't.
Yeah.
Like, none of us do. And any entrepreneur or CEO who thinks they can see the future, they are completely wrong. The best opportunities that have ever come to me in my business came out of left field. I didn't plan for them. I didn't even see them coming. If I look at my coaching program, someone asked me the other day, did you start the business development podcast with your coaching program in mind? And I said, absolutely not. I started it with the idea of helping as many business owners and business developers as humanly possible, and then got offered an opportunity to do some teaching, realized I loved it, and then launched my coaching program, right? But I didn't plan for it. I didn't see it coming. I wish I could say I had it all figured out. Even in the naming of the business development podcast, complete accident, guys. I was looking at one of my favorite podcasts, which is Jim Harold's The Paranormal Podcast. I was like, oh, that's a great name. Like, it's the one. Why don't I see if I can do that for business development? And it totally worked out for me. But I could have never seen that name, by simply naming it that, would have set our show up for so much success on that like SEO front for when you're searching for a business development show. The best things are like happy accidents, right? Like Bob Ross and his happy accidents, right? The best things are happy accidents. And I think we have to remember that the tsunamis of life are coming, but there's 2 different types. Some of those tsunamis are really good too.
Yeah. It reminds me of one conversation that I had with Brad Warren on the podcast. Kelly, it was your recommendation.
I love Brad Warren.
I spoke to him, and
I love him.
Terrific.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Great time speaking to him out of Calgary. And he said, like, when we spoke about like Tesla and Optimus and robots and everything, he owns a ton of businesses and whatnot. And he said the first thing he said reminds me of that, where the moment I said Optimus and the robot. Yeah,
dude, are you talking about like Transformers?
Yeah. Yeah. He instantly
How
said,
did this go to Transformers? Because Autobots assemble, please.
because he was thinking instantly about automation, right? He was thinking he has like a car, not manufacturing, but I think wiper blade cleaning or something, auto glass kind of a thing. But he said like, yeah,
They do
I wish I
windshields.
could.
They do windshields.
Windshield, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the Optimus robots to go change the windshield for the car. That's instant. That's what he said. So I remember that conversation. So I think businesses, they have to find a way to. I don't want to comment on Canadian Tire. They're doing what is best for Canadian Tire, but I think business should think what is best for them. How can they cut down costs? And how can they improve productivity? Right. So that's what it comes down to. Because if you're not able to, what's the right word? Adaptable. I don't know. Is that the right word? I mean, if you're not adaptive enough with the market trends, then in the long run you will lose. So I think that's a great way to think about, like when Brad Warren spoke about Tesla Optimus robots helping them with replacing windshields, right? So just wanted to add that thought there, actually.
Well, and I want to take a minute and maybe speak to some of those executives, right? And maybe this is like a bit of a warning for all executives. Listen, like, and I don't know how I feel about this, guys, because, you know, we grew up in the generation. I know, Colin, your parents, VJ, probably your parents, and my parents always said, Kelly, you know, go get the good job, get the good executive job, work your way up to the top and get the golden parachute, right? And dude, in like, you know, let's call it at this point, 160 plus interviews on the Business Development Podcast, one thing has come really, really clear. No job is safe, period. I don't care who you are, where you are, if you're a director of operations, if you're the vice president of the company, no job is safe. And I think that that's like really important for people to remember, is that those days of safety in jobs no longer exist. And you know, to my executives out there, look after yourselves. Listen, I know the companies are important. I know, you know, you have prestige in your positions, but at the end of the day, it's you and your families that you have to look after. So have a backup plan. You know, once again, you know, I'm literally doing a series right now called Podcast Playbook. And sorry, guys, I'm hijacking this just for a second, but I'm speaking to those executives. I'm speaking to you, Mr. and Mrs. Vice President of the world. You have a great opportunity right now to become a thought leader in your space, to share your knowledge, to build your personal brand, not the brand of Canadian Tire, not the brand of Walmart, but you. The way you do it is through this, what we're doing right here, right now, through podcasting, through sharing your knowledge through the world, through sharing your opinion. Be brave, stand up. Start a show. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And if you are hearing this right now, like I said, hop on over. I'm doing a series called Podcast Playbook. It's a step-by-step guide on how to launch a business podcast. So if you are looking to do that, if you want to make a difference, check it out. I think it'll be valuable to you.
Okay, one last comment before we head out from me is Kelly mentioned believing that there'll be a golden parachute or that type of thing. You also may have to believe, like I didn't know that sometimes you get a participation parachute. There was no gold. There was, it was like participating for 17 years. Sayonara, you're out. And still good. But when that tsunami hit me, right, per se, it ended up being a very good thing, right? It wasn't negative. So we're down to the last 2 minutes. Who wants to wrap it up?
Well, no, Colin, hold on. I want to go a little bit longer today because I don't want to leave on a downer. I don't want to leave our people on a downer. I want to give a little bit of advice. I want each of us maybe to just give a little bit of advice here. I think the lesson here is, listen, the tsunamis are going to hit. They're going to hit. They're going to hit. There's no question about it. I say it all the time. Your best customer can leave at any time for any reason. From the business development stance on this, never stop developing. Never stop looking for that next opportunity. Have a consistent weekly formula that you follow where you're meeting new people, you're introducing your product, maybe build yourself a platform like a podcast or a YouTube channel or something like that, where you can constantly share that knowledge with the world and never stop building yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are your greatest asset, period. I don't care who you are, how big you are in whatever company you're in. Your biggest asset isn't your company. It is you. Work on you, build you daily, and always give yourself that next opportunity. And Colin, I'll hand it off to you.
All right, sure. So one thing I live by and I try to think about every day is, if you just do this is my thumb on the pulse, right? If you have to be aware, is your heartbeat going down? Is it lower? Or is it speeding up? Is it going too fast? Where is it? You have to have your thumb on the pulse, right? In your personal life, in your business life, in your life in general, right? And what that means as a whole is just know where you're going, right? Have that plan, know how to react, right? Of course, we don't know how to react to every situation, but the more you plan, the better you'll be. And so, yeah, that's my high note of the day. And I'm headed on vacation, so I'm always in a good mood. But
it's all high notes from here.
Having my thumb on the pulse and actually knowing how I feel, right, and why I feel that way makes all the difference. VJ.
No, the closing, the one thing I found was like people say like ignorance is bliss. It is for a while, but it is not for a long time when you are the decision maker, when you have to make decisions day after day after day. Do your own research. People will say 100 things, 1,000 things that may or may not matter to you, but do your own research. Even the AI may mislead you. I just want to warn you guys, like even the AI could mislead you because it depends on what the AI is being trained on. Right? It is just like spitting out information, what it was trained on. So what if the trained information was not as good? Do your own research, dig deeper, go find out. So that's what I want to leave.
Well, and I feel like I have to add to that, VJ. What if the AI has become sentient and it wants to destroy mankind? So just remember, the AI, it can deceive you.
Yeah.
Terminator is coming. Awesome, guys. Well,
sounds good.
I hope you enjoyed this. This was a very different, authentic hustle than what we have done in the past. But I had a lot of fun with this, guys. This was awesome. I do want to say to the people who maybe are in the line of fire for this tsunami, I wish you and your families the best of luck. I'll be praying for you. I hope that everything works out. And I hope that there's enough time. I hope that everyone got enough time to get away from those beaches. Until next time, we'll catch you soon, guys. Later, hustlers.
Peace out.
See you, everyone.